I do not know what's happened to small cars at the moment. You know, your C1s, your Igos and all them, they're just going for absolute bonkers money. Even really old ones that are tatty, people are just paying the earth for it, and I just don't get it. Right, morning guys, welcome back to the channel as we're off to the auction. I am in need of some stock, desperately need some stock. We've sold quite a lot, to be fair, over the last couple of weeks. We've had a bit of a run this week as well. We've done 5 in the last couple of days as well, so that's not helped the situation, especially when we've got stuff coming through and trying to get them through the workshop on sale. And in the background, I've had to get rid of a few bits that I thought might have gone retail, and I've decided against them for all sorts of reasons, so I've traded them on. So we're just getting a bit low on the old retail side of stock. So big day today at the auction. Got about 150 cars in. I've had a quick look online. There are a few bits there today that will interest me. There's not as much as I'd like, but that's the way it is. Luck of the draw. You can go there one week and be 100 cars and buy 10. You can go the next week and be 300 cars and buy none. That's just the way it goes. So first thing we need to do is get ourselves down there. It's nice and early. I've got my coffee, so we're going to get ourselves down there, be the first one in, have a look round properly, show you about as well, see the cars in a bit more detail, and then hopefully today we can try and buy some vehicles and come away with a win. So let's get ourselves down to Aston, Barclay and Prees in Shropshire and see if we can buy some motors. Hi guys, just a quick mention to today's sponsor, Vehicle Score. Now, Vehicle Score is a vehicle checking service with a difference. First of all, it's completely free to use their service. Click on to vehiclescore.co.uk and type a registration number in of the vehicle you want to check. By using their free check, you can get a score for your vehicle from between 1 to 999, a bit like a credit score. What it does is it takes all the information that Vehicle Score have gathered on all the vehicles in the UK and uses that data and creates with its algorithm a score for your particular car. It can even compare that to average score of other vehicles like it, and you get lots of other free information. So it'll give you awareness on things like the MOT history, the mileage, any common faults, etc. Also gives you free valuations. It's full of free information, including on that particular car and vehicle data itself. And like I said, it's completely free to use. You don't need to register. You get lots of free information that you'll struggle to find anywhere else. And if you're looking for more, well, they've got it covered with their 2 checks. We've got the ultimate check and, of course, the salvage check. The salvage check costs less than a cup of coffee, and you can make sure your vehicle or the vehicle you're looking at has never been involved in a uninsured accident. You see, cars, guys, are sold every day across the UK at salvage auctions, and a lot of these cars are unrecorded. So they've been damaged, and the insurance company has not been dealing with the claim, so therefore the car's ended up at an auction and has been resold on in its damaged state. That car then gets repaired and then can be put back on the market for sale. Now, if it gone through the insurance company, it gets given a marker like a category N or category S. So when you're buying a vehicle, HPIing it, you'll be able to see if that vehicle has ever been involved in an accident. And of course, dealers by law have to declare that. However, if it's been through a salvage auction and it's unrecorded, they don't have to declare it. And there'll be cars on Auto Trader now, guys, that have been in salvage auctions and been badly damaged that are currently now on sale. So it's always wise to make sure that you have a check done. And if you want all the bells and whistles, you can have the ultimate check. The ultimate check goes even further. So you get all the salvage check. So you get all the things covered in the salvage check, plus you are checking the motor database of insurers, making sure that there is no issue with the car. So it's on the registers, we call it. So category N, category S, a conventional HPI check. It's covering you for all those as well. Also covers you to make sure there's no outstanding finance, no high purchase, no logbook loans, anything like that. So you're making sure you're getting the most comprehensive check out there at one of the best possible prices. And it gets better, guys, because either of those 2 checks, you get a discount. Car UK viewers get 15% off by using the promo code CARUK15. Type that in, guys, and you'll get your discount off any of those checks. Just remember, guys, the standard check on your reg is free. To type it in, you'll get all that free information, and then you can go on to have any of the checks if you want them. Like I said, you don't need to register. Get yourself on there, guys. It's vehiclescore.co.uk. Get yourself on and give them a try. Right, we're in, we're here. Let's have a mooch around. First one, little Fiat 500. Big buyer of these at the moment. This one's in bright yellow. I have actually bought a bright yellow one recently, which was a bit of a disaster, but to be fair, I should have been aware of that. But this is more of a proper retail car. This is lot number 2. They're going to be one of the first cars in, obviously. 80,000 miles, 500, it's a pop, so it's a base model. It's Pretty bright thing actually. Looking at average 1300 quid, clean 17. Light's a bit dull. But other than that, really, it don't look too bad. I'm sure you can quite see in there. It's pretty clean inside. You've got to be wary of these. The other little few bits and bobs that go wrong with them. Gearboxes can be quite temperamental. Clutches can be temperamental. A bit tricky to sort of get parts from these days to fix. Not impossible, but they do go wrong. ECUs and coil packs as well. Commons, switches, sort of like thermostat switches and map sensors. There's a few little bits, but we worked on that many now. We're sort of getting to grips with them a bit, and they're pretty straightforward to sort out now. But they do have a raft of problems. But they sell. People want them. We sell lots of them to women. It's not just being sexist. That genuinely is mostly women that buy them. But they're just good sellers. So we'll see what that does. Anything around the 1500 quid mark, I'll be in at that. They've got a little bit of lack appeal on the back, which is a bit of a shame. But, yeah, we'll see what we pay for it. See if we can win it. Little Suzuki Alto, lot number 5, done 79,000 miles. 2 former keepers. Pretty bright. It's red, which is a bit of a pain. It was fade red. Morning. Not sure if that's going to come back. I can't quite see down here, it's a bit dark, but it's a little bit faded in places. That bumper might come back. I think you probably will improve it with a buff, but I don't think you're going to get it gleaming. Slightly maybe. What's that going for? 79,000 miles, average condition, grand. And I'd say that's average condition. A few little chips there, little scraps there. Good sellers though, to be fair. Don't usually get too many problems. The odd whiny gearbox I've had, but that's pretty much it, to be honest. I've seen 1 or 2 rotten, but it's not horrendous. You know, I'll mark that one down. It's not on top of my list, but we will see what it does. 207cc. Couldn't think of anything worse to buy. 1.6 petrol, 59,000 miles. Little like a Christmas tree, so we've got a marker on engine, marker on vehicle operation, marker on tyres. So it's 1.6 petrol. Usually suffer with these with camshaft sensor problems, mainly down to stretched chains. Again, it's that lovely Prince engine, 1416 engine, Peugeot Citroens, also in Minis. It's just not the best, if I'm honest with you. You end up putting, you buy 3 of these, you end up putting a chain on at least one of them. They are problematic, to say the least. They also suffer with smoky engines and stuff, and they're what we call a GDI engine, so about overcomplicating it, basically they get gummed up on the valves because there's no petrol going over them, washing over the valves like most cars do. The injectors are sort of direct injection into the bore, whereas most cars, the fuel passes over the inlet valves into the cylinders and washes the back of the valves so they don't get carbonised up. These don't work like that. In the hunt for emissions and fuel economy, which in fairness it is very good on fuel for what the size of the engine is, but it just causes loads of problems with carbonisation of valves and running rough and lumpy, and yeah, they're just not the best of engines, if I'm honest with you. But unfortunately they're in a lot of cars, so you have to sort of put up with them if you're going to be buying Peugeot, Citroens and Minis. This is what you're going to be faced with. But that is booking at very low money. I mean, it's only booking at like 350 to 500 quid, so in retrospect it's quite cheap. It's all on that roof working. If that ain't working, that's going to be expensive to put right. My experience of these isn't too bad on the roofs, actually. They're usually okay. The worst sort of cars like this with the folding roofs, with them Vauxhall Astras, everyone I bought them were knackered, full of water in the boot. But these weren't that bad. I've only ever come across one with a bad roof, but you never know. It's okay. I mean, don't get me wrong, at the sort of money we're talking about here, 500 or 600 quid mark, it's probably quite cheap, but you'll probably spend at least that again to get it into a retail condition. Certainly wants a bit of paint doing on this cover. We'll see what it does. I'm not a massive buyer of these, if I'm honest with you, but it was very cheap. You can't say no, can you? Here's an interesting one, a Skoda Roomster. 1.4 diesel, so a little 3-cylinder diesel. Not the best sounding engines these, if I'm honest, but they go like the wind.
Good morning.
Morning, you alright?
Oh yes.
One former keeper, 74,000 miles, that's low. Not a bad old thing really, I like the colour. Although it does look like something that John Paul II was driven round in. That is booking out. Average condition grand, clean 1400, retail 28.95. I wouldn't say it's in the clean category. It's definitely average, maybe slightly better than average, but it's not quite clean. But it's a good colour. It's a good colour, good engine. Though I like the 1.4 diesel engine. They don't sound very good actually. They sound like a rattle can when they start up, but that's literally how they are from new. And they are phenomenal on diesel, absolutely phenomenal. And of course cheap tax as well. Should be on an 07 anyway, I think. But anyway, the point being, that is definitely what we're going to have a go at. A very interesting car for the pitch, that. I suspect it'll do quite well. I don't think that'll do £1,000 unless it's lit up like a Christmas tree. The reports shows it's quite good on it, so one a former keeper, I think it'll do more than the cap guy, but we'll see. Very bright Peugeot 107 in yellow, 1 litre urban, done 93,000 miles. Not booking at a great deal of money. Average 370 quid to clean 770. It doesn't look too bad for an 07 plate. I'm quite impressed with that. I have had a look on the MOT history online. I think this is the one I looked at. One of them had a advisory down for a subframe previous year, so last year's MOT. So we've got to be cautious of that. They do suffer with subframes going on these, rotting. I mean, they're not difficult to replace, just buy a new one and stick them on. You can get new ones off eBay for relatively decent money, just a bolt-on job. As long as the mounting point where it goes hasn't corroded, you're all right. Otherwise you're fabricating, sometimes it can be beyond repair. We've got a nasty chip down there, which is a shame, but could be easily rectified. Need bright thing. Oh, a bit of rot down there. That's tidying up. They do also rot here as well, underneath on the flat of the sill. Particularly on this sort of year. But it's a bright car, and at 400-500 quid territory, it'd be silly not to have a go at that. Now here's a car that I like, and this isn't something that I'm going to buy, it's just something I'm going to show you. It's early doors, so we'll have a watch and see what it does. But a Citroen Cactus, I don't know why I like these. I shouldn't really, because it's a Citroen and it's got the terrible 1.2 PureTech engine in, 3-cylinder engine, awful wet belt design. Bad as an EcoBoost? Probably not, but it's not far off. It's a poor design. There's stuff I've seen them with snap belts, noisy engines, pure smoke bellowing out of them. They're not the best, if I'm honest with you. If you're going to buy that engine, like the Citroen C1, the Peugeot 108, they have that engine as well now. They also do the 1 litre, still the old 1 litre Daihatsu engine that was in the previous shape Igos and 107s and Toyotas. Make sure you buy that one, guys. Keep away from this 1.2. But obviously in this, I mean, to be honest, if I was going to buy a Cactus, which, to be honest with you, at some point in the near future, they're going to come into my price range. I will buy them, but I don't even be buying diesels. I won't be taking many chances on these 1.2s, certainly not for retail. Traded on fire, but not retailing them. But I don't know, I just like the quirkiness of Citroens. They know how to make a quirky car, they've always been good at it. And you shouldn't like this, but you do. And you compare this to the Peugeot version, I think is it the 2008? Oh, it's had a wallop there. Oh God, look at that. That's bad. That's pushed the monocoque right back. That's not going to be cheap to fix. That's going to be difficult to line up. This 600 quid repair there, easy. It's a shame, but yeah, doesn't change the fact that I don't know, I quite like it. I suppose there's a lot of things in life that we like but we shouldn't. And mine's probably the Citroen Cactus. It's booking at below average 4,300 quid. It certainly is below average, very chippy bonnet. Damage on that corner. Could be cheaper than the book price, to be honest, because that's not a nice repair. But we'll see what it does. It's going through early doors. Very bright Corsa, 1.4 16 valve SRI, done 86,000 miles, averaging a grand 50. Good on the report, 2 former keepers. I suspect, unless we find something walking around it now, that is going to do more than £1,000. It's 1.4 SRI, proper boy racer's car. That's a proper boyo car. I mean, they probably prefer it in black rather than red. Definitely want some paint there. Wants touching in, redoing. It's red. It's going to be difficult to match up. It's going to be very difficult. It has faded a little bit, but it looks like it'll come back a bit. I think you could get away with painting that and blending it, buffing it up, and you probably will get away with that. That's the problem with red cars. When you're painting them, if they've faded too much, you're in trouble. Well, we'll have a go at that nonetheless. It's not too bad. A little bit chippy in places, but it's not horrendous. Black with red piping seats. Not a bad thing. Retail on that's with like 2,995. Clean condition. Want a little bit of work on it. Clean 1450, below £1,000. So it's going to be somewhere between £1,000 1450. I suspect it will still do clean money, just because of the spec really being a 1.4 16 valve. And the popular things, facelift as well. That's the main thing. If it's a non-facelift, it'll do a bit less. But yeah, we'll see. Definitely interested in that one. The bath. Driven a few of these. These are proper good fun to drive. I'd never buy one, to be honest with you. I think there's better small hot hatches out there, but it's just proper Italian style, aren't they? They just look amazing. They do look amazing, these. This is a 595 hatchback. This is a bar 595, 1.4 petrol, turbocharged, 25,000 miles. That is a proper car. Proper retail car on an 18 plate. I like the touch at the bottom as well with your bath. It's nice in red. It won't be nice in 10 years when it's faded, but it's nice in the moment. I never quite know the specs on these. It's like, you've got 595 and then you've got like competition Harley and also, they're all slightly different, but I don't know, that's a proper looking thing, that. Looking clean at nearly 10 grand, 9 grand under if it's average. It's clean really at that miles. Retail on it's £11,500. Ideal little car that. Just pop to the shops with, you know, get the milk, blast up, blast back. Now we'll see what it does. Little Audi A1. Now these aren't on my radar at the moment because they don't fit into my budget, so I'm retailing stuff sort of around the £3,500 mark and under. So these are still not anywhere near my level yet. So you probably could get a high mileage one sort of in my budget, but yeah, you're not going to see many of them. But this is booking at clean 5.6, average 4.8, below 4.1. It's in black. A little bit chippy on the front, but could be easily rectified. It is a 1 litre TFSI. It'll be the 3-cylinder engine in these, using the VW up and stuff. Not a bad little engine. I don't have much experience on the 1 litre TFSI, if I'm honest with you. I've driven a lot of them, MOTs and stuff, and bringing them back over from where I used to work, but I've not come across many of them with issues. I may be wrong. If someone out there says differently, let me know in the comments, but my experience so far has not been a too bad little engine. Most Volkswagens are always problematic when it comes to timing chains and timing them up, because there seem to be awkward things to do belts on, but you know, we're certainly not talking about engines I've heard of blowing up so much on these. Not the 1 litres anyway. Maybe wrong, but they seem pretty quiet under the radar wise. Most people would like a diesel in these, but that's not a bad little car. Little first car for someone. I think they've obviously been a really popular seller. Always a popular seller, and at some point in the near future these are going to come into my pricing range. Definitely something that I would buy. Anyway, what's that does out of interest? Right, definitely got this one on my radar. Little bright Clio, 5-door, little 1.1 petrol. Good sellers these. Say in the 5-door as well. Good little family, good little small family car. I didn't realise that it's not a 1.1. Maybe there's another one I haven't seen then. This is a 1.2 TSE, which means it's a turbocharged one. That worries me. So they do the 1.102 petrols. Standard Renault Clio engine, been around for nearly 25 years. And then they do this TSE, which has got a little turbocharger on it. and my experience of them is not great. A couple of smoky engines I've come across in my time. I'm not saying all of them are like that, you know, but I've seen a few, and to the point where I've become wary of them and just don't really want to buy them. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, if that goes through and it's not smoking, we'll check it. Oh, blimey, scroll up there. See, this is why you need to come to an auction and see things in person, because that wasn't showing up online. Ding in the tailgate as well, that's a shame. I mean, he's not booking it a lot, in fairness to it. It's probably like a 400 or 500 quid car, which in, you know, that sort of money is cheap. But it's now wants a bit of paint, and we've got to contend with a potentially risque engine. But we'll see what it goes through like. If it doesn't smoke, oh god, it wants a valet. It gets worse and worse, so you need to stop looking at it. Man, seats are like awful. It's really rancid. Oh, I don't know. It'd have to be, I'm certainly not going to pay more than 500 quid for it, which is a shame, because if that was a 1-2 proper bright thing, I'd give good money for that, because it's a 1995 car. But I don't know, it's just a lot of worry markers on that one. And there's a blast from the past. PT Cruiser, 2.2 diesel, one former keeper. Someone's been hiding this away. Obviously, I'm never really a fan of these. Never a fan. 2.2 diesel. They did a 2 litre petrol. They did a 1.6 in these. I think they did. It was a mini engine, didn't they? Used. And of course, they did a big daft petrol version as well. I can't remember what size of the engine. Was it 2.3 or 2.2? Might be 2.4. 2.4 petrol. I think they did as well in these. They were bought by particularly odd people, sort of people who like watched Elvis and like Eagles and stuff, and revolvers on the wall at home. Yeah, I was never a fan of them, but they're different. But they are different, aren't they? And what's that worth today? It's probably a future classic, to be honest. I mean, I won't think it'd be a particularly sought after classic, but it is interesting. You can't deny that. And I'd love to get one in Part X and make a video on. That'd be good. Well, am I going to buy this one to do that? Probably not, unless it was very cheap, sub 500 quid. But then what do you do with it? You really want to put that on the pitch and get laughed at? Oh, shame really, because am I being critical of that? Yeah, probably am, to be fair. They're just not a nice car, are they? They're just not a nice car. But there's certainly one that makes a list of somewhere, doesn't it, of strange cars or ugliest cars on sale. It's got to be on there somewhere. We'll see what it does anyway. Hopefully someone buys it and appreciates it. Right, that'll do for now. We will look at some of the bits that comes through as well. So I will show you some of the things I've seen. As we go through and see anything else interesting, I will obviously show you those stuff, guys. Even if it's stuff that I'm not buying, I will see anything that's of interest to you guys, I will film it, obviously. So we're going to get ourselves in position shortly, ready for the auction. It's pretty quiet so far. There's not many people here. Doesn't mean people don't turn up last minute. It does happen. But it'd be nice if it's a quiet day, because I could do buying some cars. So we marked down a few bits. I've seen a few Citroens, C1s, 107, Igos, etc. So we'll have a go at a couple of them. And then see what else pops through. I mean, there's a couple of Peugeots. I didn't really want any 207s, but there is a couple in. It'd be rude not to buy them if they're cheap enough. And then the Corsa, the little red Corsa, I'm definitely interested in that. That'd be one today to try and bag. So anyway, let's get ourselves some breakfast. Got the old breakfast voucher, early doors, catches the worm, etc. And then I'll get myself in position for you, and then we'll try and see if we can win some motors. So let's get ourselves in the hall.
Lovely stuff. Right, let's go. We'll start with lot number 2. Was on a 59 base on the Fiat 500 bar. Right example, 80,000 miles service history is all there for you as well. It's got an April 24 ticket. Where do we go? Interior, matching. Where do we go? 700 words, cut to 1700 quid. We'll go 700 pound that, 700 pound a bid. 7 bid is there, 7 bid 8, 8 bid 9, 9 bid, 9 bid 1,000 pound sold, 11, 11 bid 12, 12 pound, 12 bid 12, 12, 12, 12, it's so low, 12 bid 50, 12 bid 13 was there, 13, no we went 13, 13, 13, 13, 50, was 3 up, 13, 50, 30, 50, at 30, 14, 14, 50, 40, 50, 40, 50, at 40, 40, 50, yes or no we win, 40, 50, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 50, at 50, 50, 50, 50, we can roll 50, 50, anyone else go once, twice, and 16, let me come please mate, come on, 16 bid, 16, 16, you roll 16, it says no, once, 16, go twice, and now 16, And the next one is a little cheeky, this one, chance to Shropshire 107, 93,000 miles. Get all the other ones today. There we go, around this one, let us stay keeping up there. It's a little 3-mile stop over there for you, chaps, nice and cheap. But yeah, we're going to go for 50s, please. Stummy away with it. 2 and a half starts with me. 250 on now. 3 bid. 3 to the bid. 50. 3 to the bid. 4 bid. 50 in the hole. 5. Covered about. 5 bid. 50 on line and sold. Covered 56. Fresh money. 50. 7 to bid. 700 pound internet. 700 pound on the net. 700 pound. Yes or no? That's 70. 50. Fresh money's here. 750 bid. 750. 750. Go into the last second, boys. 8 bid. 8 bid. 8 bid. 800. Yes, no, that's 800 pound is here. You need 50. 850.
Wow.
50. 850, 850,
that's way overboard.
9
way overboard.
Yes or no? 9 last call. Once, twice, and
that was expensive. £1,100 out the door, that.
And the next one, number 5, Suzuki Alto, is number 79 on the box, service inch 65, it is a 5-door, green and clean. We're going to start into this one, we'll go, £700, 7, 8, 8, 9, 900 pound, 900 pound, 900 pound, 900 pound, 900 pound, 900 pound on sale, 900 pound, 900 pound, 1,000, 11,
That moved quick.
11.50, 11.50, 11.50 the bid. I'm going to put it on sale, 11.50 the bid box. Twice, 11.50.
Thought at it for a second then.
16 is a 2009 Peugeot 207 Coupe Cabriolet. And we're going to run boys. The roof is down on the purpose. Get the wind in your head.
Wind in the air. No V5.
Let's get going. It is a little cheapy. Let's get it going. Stop away the bit. 300 pound a minute. 3 to bid. 3 to bid. 3 to bid. 50. 3 to bid. 3 to bid. 3 to bid. 4 bid. 400 pound. Yes or no? 4 bid. 4 bid. 50. 450. 450. 75 on sale. 475. 175. 175. 475 bid. 475. Anyway, what's on the play? 475 is here. Yes or no? Going once. You in? Going twice. The number bid. 4, 7, 5.
And the next one, number 7, is the Vauxhall Crossland Dax. It's got service inch 56, it is a number 2. What a beautiful example. We're going to start a bit of this.
Beautiful transport that is next one is the Season C4 Cactus. This was the fuel tech of the Stop navigation there for you. All over now. 73,000 miles. Lows history up to 64 there for you as well. Have a good look around that wagon, chaps. So let's get it going. So 2 gun, your bids today. Got some 59, 50 chaps. We'll start this one with a bid. 4,300 pound gets it rolling. 43, 43, 43 outside. 43, 43, 43, 44 the hole. No, you want line, it's in the hole. 44 in the hole. 44, 44, 44, 45's on the net. 45, 45, 45, 45, 45.
You're going to get some internet bidders on this. They're not seeing how bad that damage is.
46 bid, I'll take a 50 lads. 46 bid, 46, 46, 47 bid, 47 bid, 47 bid, yes or no, 50, 46 50, 46 50, I'm told to sell it boys. Get it.
I bet you are.
47 after 47, after 47 bid, once, twice, and 46 50, got it.
I think they'll be upset when they get that. We'll be able to see the damage properly online. See what this Adam does. 51,000 miles. Comes with a plate, 1.4 turbo, 2 former keepers. Average 5.1, clean 5.9, trades 5.5. Not much interest on it.
It's got to be that or I'll sell it after
no bid.
£5,000. Any interest? £5,000.
No one wants the Adam.
£5,000.
Oh, got a bid.
5,000 on sale. 5,000. 50. 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 51, 51, 51, 51, 51, 51, 52. He's out. 52 once, twice. 52.
Good morning, Richard.
A1 next in.
What brings you up to Breeze? Next one, 1% on the 1550, this one the Audi A1 Sport. 100 miles there for you chaps. History is on the Audi border. Good morning, sir. Where do we go? Around this one, I knew you would be fine, mate. You should have sent me some bits. I would have had a look for you. Where do we go? Around that's a 5650 there for you. In the black, it's clean and green there for you lads. Starting away, caps a 5650. He's got 4,500 pounds starting on that. Big fair there, lads. 45, 45,
46 online, 46, Richard in the house, 46 bid, 46, he's trying to put it on sale, 46 in a selling move, 46 bid, 46, 46, 47 bid, 47 bid, 47 bid, 47 bid, 47 bid, going once, selling it going twice, and another bid at 46, no, 46.
You're like rolling there like fucking ball box.
Right, not a great start. Getting bids in, didn't win a thing. Something very interesting actually is going on. There's a guy here from Channel 4. I did speak to him briefly in the cafe room. I was having my breakfast. Name's Dale, something to do with W Money, something like that. Something to do with Channel 4 programme with Sue Perkins. Anyway, he's here doing a film. He's been around a few auctions, he's buying and selling something to do with this, obviously this programme. Nice bloke. Fuck me, he's loud. He is loud. You probably heard him on the camera when he won a car. He was like, yes! Yeah, he's a bit brash, shall we say. But yeah, he's buying bangers as well, which isn't helping me. And it's not helping a few people as well. He's certainly ruffling some feathers, but that's the way it is. Not been moaning about it, you know. Everyone's here to buy. We'll wait and see what's coming in a bit. There's a few other bits coming in later, so we'll hang fire for a bit. But I'll have a look round now, see if there's any other interesting bits we can film as they come through. But I've got a suspicion today that I'm not going to win much. And it's a shame actually, because there's hardly anyone here. Hardly anyone here. Should be a day to buy, but I'm just not getting the feeling it's going to happen for us.
Number 10. Wow. Number 27 is the Citrus C1. It's a VTR in the colours, 69 on the clock, history, green and clean. Starting at £1,800 now. 18, 19, 2, 2 with me, 2 with me, 1, 21 in the market, 1 with 1, 21, 2, 22 in the market, 2,000 in the market, 3, 23 in the market, 2,000, 3, 4, and 24 in the market, 1 with 1, 50s if you want now, and 24 in the market, 1 with 1, 24 in the market, 4 once, twice, 24. Next one is... Well, that's not like Newcastle. Next one, number 38 on the 6011 is Nice and Peugeot Expert CP. Have a good look inside, boys. This is a wheelchair access vehicle, okay? The door's unlocked, by all means, have a good sniff around it, boys. Have a good look in the back. You can run open the door, drive out, open the doors if you can. Where do we go? Have a around this one then, boys. 400 miles, got a January 21 ticket. Where do we see it? Caps at 3, start 2, 2, 2, thank you mate, 2 minute, 2 minute, 2, 2, 2, 2 minute, 2 minute, 2 minute, 2 minute, 2, 2 minute, 2,000, 2 minute, 2 minute, 2 minute, root tracks, vehicle 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2, 5, 2, 6, 2, 6, 2, 7, 2, 7, 2, 8, I'm told to sell it, 2, 8, 2, 8, 2, 8, 50, 2, 8, 50, 2, 9, 2, 9, 2, 9, 50, 2, 9, 53, 3, 3, 3, in my side, 3 here, you in, 50, 3, 50, 1, 31, 31, 31, 31, 50, 31, 50, 32, 32, 32, 32, 50, 32, 53, 33, 33, 50, 4, says no, 34, my side, 34, 34, 34, once, twice, and yes. Pull it a bit more further forward, please, man. Just so we know that orange car. Right, thank you very much. Right, number 39 is the Vauxhall Mavona, 81 down to the box, 7 to 63. Now it is subject to the VAT.
Oh no.
So I'm going to start, £4,000. 4,000 down. 4 with the 1 with the 1 with the 4, 4,000 down with the 4,000 down with there. Plus the 1 with the 20, put 4,000 down with the 1 with the 1 with the 1 with the 4,000 1, 41, 2.
No, that's MOT history.
Oh, okay.
So it will say separately. It'll say S8 service there, you see? See that difference on that one? So it'll go 11, 19, 40k.
Oh, right, yeah.
Where that's just going off the mileage of the MOT history.
Okay, alright.
Next one is number 40, clean and green on the report. Lovely car, it is the Skoda Rooster. I'm going to wrap that up. Rooster with the roof. There we go, 61,000 miles spent. It's exciting. Do you want this? What do you have about this morning, guys? It's got a March 24 MOT. Let's get it out, boys. With the roof. I'm pretty good now. It's no way with it.
£700, £8,999,000 is there, but the bottom of the bar, £1,000, the bottom of the bid, the £1,000 is there, £1,000, yes or no, £1,000 bid, one bid, at the bottom of the bar, yes or no, boys, you win at £1,000 bid, last one down with the room, at the bottom of the bunch, told us so, okay, down once, £1,000 bid going twice, and Joe.
Lot number 41 is the Peugeot 208, is the petrol active.
£9,000, £1,100 here. In the room, not you in, £1,100, 11 bid, £1,200 fresh money. There's two you online, £1,200 bid, 12 bid, and £1,200 bid, £1,200 bid is on sale on take it 50, and £1,200 bid, 12 bid,
50,
and £1,200 bid, 50 online, £1,250 bid, 13 online, there's two on the net. Make sure it is yours. 30 bid, 50. Thank you. 30 bid, 50 bid, 30 bid, 50, 14 on the net, 14,
one more,
14, one more is 50, 20 bid, 50, on to Michael, 20 bid, 50, £1,500 on the net.
No,
15, thank you, so mate. 15 bid, 15. Selling into the telly. 50, go once, twice, and done. 15.
We're on number 43, so Tails Alvarez. He's in the colour, service issue 86. I tell you what, what's a bit of value? We're going to start £300, £300 4, £40, £5, £5, £6, £600, £600, £7 online, £700, £7, 50 on sale, £750, 8 online, £800, £800, £50 online, £850 the bid, £850 the bid, £50 the bid, £900, £900 the bid, £900, £900 the 9, £900, and £900 the bid, £50, £950, £900 the bid, £900 the bid, £950 the bid, £950, £900 the bid, £950 once, twice, £950.
Next one in chat, rare base number 44, it's a 16 Renault Megane Renault Sport with the camera roof as well, that's nice. 29,000 miles, issued at 7, 10, 16, 21, 25, 27.
275 brake. I'll get it to the shops and back mount.
24 ticket, bucket seats, looks to the right, stop the nav. There we go, boys. Future classic car, Captain 37. There we go, a bit 12,000 for that, boys. I don't think that's dear. 12,000 now. 12 here. When you think about what you have to pay for the equivalent, 12,1, 12,1, 12,1, 12,1, 12,2. What, 20 grand for 845? 12,3, 12,3, 12,3, 12,3, 12,3. At 12,3, 12,3, 12,3. Yes, now, at 12,300 pounds. Let me know. 12,3, 12,4, 12,4. We need to see it. 12,4, 12,4, 12,4, 12,4, 12,4, 12,4, 12,5, 12,5, 12,5, 12,5. At 12,100, on sale. 12,5, 12,5. At 12,100, 12,100. 50 super quick lads. Hammers up. It's going one way. Going once. 12.5 for the second, and the last at 12 and a half. Nice car, at 12.5.
And next one. And the next one, looking around this one, number 49 is the Evolve 595. It's got 25 on the clock, service issue to 22. It's good in the red, green on the Aston. We're going to start £8,000. £8,000 in the bed, £8,000 in the one online, £800 in two in the room, 82, 83. 84, 84 the bid 5 online, 85 the bid 8 down to the bid 85 the bid 5, profit at 99, good in the red, 85 the bid down to the bid 85, anyone else like to football? That's 85 the bid 5, 85 the bid 5 votes, 85 the bid goes twice, we'll hold it, 85.
Mind your toes, those two, mind your toes. Next
worth nowhere near that.
Yes, and all right. 750. 750 once, twice. Number one.
Blue Clio coming in, doesn't appear to be smoking, and then a nice Gioletta, high mileage diesel. Lovely car though.
Next one in is number 59, it's a little bit different, so this one is the Clio. I'm going to run that one. Let's get the blue card there for you boys. Where do we go? It's got a February 21 ticket. Music to my ears. Good morning, sir. I was settled. I don't know the exact figure, but the guy is about 20 in my local bit. I had a little scan through the catalogue. I'd say about 20 odd. Hope you're well, sir. Bet you're a happy blue mooner, Mr. Triple winner. There we go, we're going to that one, boys. No reserve, sell to the company, to the mid, to the mid, to the mid 50, to the mid mid, to the mid to the mid 3, 350, 350, 4. We won't talk about the football, will we? 450, 450, 450. 450, 450, 450 says no. 450 mid, 450. That Harlan's a freak. 450, 450, 450 last goal. 5 out of there. 5
Yeah.
5 in. 5. Yes or no? 5.
Feels like one clutch as well.
Twice. And now 5.
I don't like that engine turbo one. Yeah, TSE. Yeah. Should be buying that really. Mileage though, isn't it? Getting there now. Yeah, nearly. Oh, you was what, a car smoke around it? You've been talking Cheshire in that thing. Or Wales in your case. Yeah.
Number 61 is
2015, 2008 Peugeot, 1.6 diesel, on 130,000 miles. Only booking at 1,750 quid, bottom book. Incredible value.
Two more from our project. We got 50-50 plates in the road, more miles, so there for you lads. Where do we go? Right thing, let's get it going. Start away a bit. Gaps to 26, we'll start. Yeah, either way, mate. What do we got? Start right that one, we'll go in a bit. £1,300. 13, short bits there. 13 bit, 13 bit, 13, 13, 14, 14 bit, 15's in the room. 2 in the room first, 16's in the room, 17's in the room. 17 bit, 17, 18, 19, 2, sold, 2, 50, 250, 250, 251, 2150, 2150, 2150, 2150, yes or no, 2, 2, same time, look at that mate, 2, 2's on the green, 2 to the mid, 2 to the mid, 2 to the mid once, twice, and number 28, thank you.
Saying that, not a dear car really, but I don't think that other guy was going to stop.
It is Ralph Rancini, he's the dynamic, he's the number edition, 44 in the box, position of 43. We're going to start £9,000.
Strange thing that is. I haven't seen it. Oh, blimey. Wants an engine. You hear that? You pick that up on camera then. That wants an engine. Bottom end was rattling like hell then. Not to mention it's got a whack in the door. Wow. Buy that with caution. If you think a big heavy car like that with a 1.2 turbo petrol engine in, it's just going to end in disaster. That's poorly. That is poorly. Oh, here we go. Star of the show here. Star of the show.
I'm sorry to you, mate. Next one, PT Cruiser, 78,000 miles. This one, then goes to 200, a rare old bus. Where do we go? We're going to go 50, so a bit of fun with this one. Where do we go? Turn around with me, you do the rest. Turn about 50, to the 50 mid, to the 50, to the 50, to the 50, to the 50, to the 50.
Oh my God, it's gotta go. One more. No.
He'd
have made a good video.
6 about 50, on sale, 650, 650, 750, 750, 750, reverse on the plate, 750 once, twice, and done. 10. And the next one, the is the carauction. It's in the corner, 111 on the box, so it's 86, we're going to start round about. Round about.
Engine doesn't sound the best, very flat paint, wants 2 bumper corners doing. Just, no, I'm not feeling it, 111,000. I thought that was enough for it really.
We have got a pan roof, we have got something that's like a screen going on there. There's like a navigation screen as well. Something's going on. It's, where we go. Having around this one, boys, it's a French fancy. Let's get it going. Mate, on the balls a ticket. There we go, that's the place, so that's the bid, we go. £2,000, 2 bid, 2, 2, 2, to the bid, to the bid, short bid, mate, to the bid, once it's up, 2, 5 on the net. Who else? 2, 5, 2, 5, 2, 5, 2, 5, 2, 6, 2, 6, 2, 6, 2, 6, 2, 6, 2, 7, 2, 7, 2, 7, 2, 8, 2, 8, 2, 9, 2, 9, on sale, 2, 9, 2, 9, 2, 9, 2, 9, 2, 9, 2, 9, you saw that? Once, twice, and done.
Number 62, again, no reserve. No reserve, we're not talking about, £400. Thank you, that's a bit of it, £400.
50.
650, are we done? And 650 down to 650. Once, twice, the final. And the next one, is the bottom of the goal, please God. 120 down the clock. It is an emergency cut S on the side, 500 now. 6, 7, 700 down 8, 800 down to 8, 9, 900 down to 9, 900 down 1,000 on sale, 1,000 down to the bottom, 11, 11 down to the 11 down to 12, 12 down to the 12 down to the 12 now, 12 down to the 12, 12, 15, 12, 15, 12, 50 to the bid, 50 to the bid, 14, 14 down to the 1,000, 3 down to the 15, 14, 15, 20, 20 to the 30, 20 to the 30, 50, 30, 50 to the 30, 15, 14, 14, 14, 15, 14, 50 to the body, 50 to the body, 50 to the body, 50, 40, 50 to the big goes once, twice, 14, 15.
Right, that's the auction over, guys. Let's have a quick sum up about what we've won today and what we've also seen. Now, first of all, I mentioned that there is going to be a part 2 coming to this video. There was a lot of filming done today. I can't really get it all into one episode, so I'm going to split it up into part 2. So make sure you check out part 2 of the auction video next week when that comes out. But what we've seen so far in this video, we won 2 cars. So we won the Skoda Roomster and we won the Volkswagen Golf. Now, I'm happy with both those purchases, both very different purchases. The Roomster's just a proper bit of bread and butter stock. I've never bought one. Very, very bright car, nice colour. 1.4 diesel engine. I quite like that 1.4 diesel engine. They've been putting Volkswagens and Skodas. Like I said, it's a little 3-cylinder thing. Doesn't sound the best. They do sound very sort of old school and clattery, but that's how they are. They're a 3-cylinder diesel, so they're not going to sound very refined, but they're brilliant on fuel and they go like the wind. So I think we'll sell that just on the colour and the engine, and also it's got good mileage, and we'll see what happens. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe it's a disaster, no one wants it, but we'll just see. And also we'll do a video on it when it lands and we go pick it up, because I think it's quite an interesting vehicle. Cost-wise, that's going to cost about £11.80 out the door. We paid £1,000 for it, shoved the fees on top for that sort of level. Just under £1,200. Retail on it's about £27.95. We are going to spend a fair few £100s on it, let's be realistic, but we should have a nice margin in that, and I think it will sell. The other purchase was the Volkswagen Golf, the white one, category S, that vehicle. Now, that was a non-categorised vehicle. it probably would have been somewhere around 24, 2,500 quid, 23 maybe, somewhere around there. So to get one at that sort of level on the category register of Cat S, which is, you know, it's had a fair old wallop in its time, we have to be careful of that, obviously checking it out if we're going to retail it. But it looked a clean thing. I couldn't see any repairs on it, so I think it's been done probably a while ago, probably been repaired, and it looks like it's been repaired to a high standard, but we'll see. I've got some people lined up for that who I can trade that onto. It reminds me just for a cheap runabout Golf, ideally a Blue Motion one, so I might be able to dispose of that anyway. If it drives really well, I might decide to retail it. A retail on that could be about 2,995, which on the face of it on the pitch will look brilliant value, but obviously when people investigate that it's, or we told them, or we advertise it, the fact that it's a category S car, we're probably going to get most of those people not interested in it. But there will be someone out there who might not be able to afford a non-categorised one on a 61 plate, for example, but might, because it probably because that would probably be sort of like a £4,000 car retail if it was HPI clear, but we might be able to buy one that's on the register. So we'll see. We might not retail it. We'll see when we get it. We might just end up trading it on. But either way, there's profit in it, and I'm happy at what I paid. It's going to be roughly about 1,600 quidish mark out the door with the fees. But other than those two purchases in this video, we were struggling a little bit, to be fair. There's a lot of cars today in there, and I just couldn't get any. I was getting a lot of bids in. We were struggling to get anything. I was thought, to be honest, we would clean up today and we could walk away with 4 or 5 cars. It just wasn't happening. And my word, was I trying. And particularly on the small cars. I do not know what's happened to small cars at the moment, but the super mini stuff, you know, your C1s, your Igos and all them, they're just going for absolute bonkers money. Even really old ones that are tatty, people just paying the earth for it, and I just don't get it. Those few that we saw, the yellow one, and there's a red one as well. The yellow one was overpriced, it had a short ticket on it. You got to be careful because corrosion on the advisory for last year. I thought that was too expensive. It was way over book. The red one had a bit of peel on it. It wasn't the best. It was fading. Again, it was over book. But that seems to be happening at the moment. I can't seem to buy those Igos and C1s at auctions. I seem to have more luck sort of buying them in the trade, sort of off other people, part exchanges from other dealers, or a friend of mine who gets them in as well from his breaker's place. He gets them in sort of salvage, maybe clutch is gone and stuff. I seem to have more joy buying them out of the auctions. In auctions, everyone just wants them. I understand why, because they're brilliant sellers. If I had 8 of them tomorrow, I could probably sell them all within a very short space of time because everyone wants them and they are reliable cars. But I don't know, I just think there comes a point in age when they start to get a bit ropey, particularly underneath the corrosion side of them, and you can get burnt with them, so you have to be very, very careful. But it doesn't seem to be stopping them today. They were doing absolutely Brewsters. Other things we saw today, the red Corsa, a little bit upset about that one. I probably should have gone one more on that, or 2 more bids. Should have gone to about 1,600. It sold for 15. I had in my head roughly about 28.95, 2,995 for it. You've got to put fees on top. 1,500 quid, it could make it into 17.50. You need a bit of prep on it. You know, you could find yourself on the wrong side of that. To be fair, the good sellers, I probably should have gone one more. So that was probably the mistake of the day. But I mean, who says I would have won it at £1,500 or 1,550 or 1,600? You just don't know. But I would like, probably on hindsight, to have gone back and had another go at that. Like I said, we did try today. We had a go at a few things, but it just wasn't really our day. Other than those 2 purchases that we got, which, to be fair, weren't bargains. They were okay money, and I'm happy with what we've got. We've not done as well as I'd like to have done maybe in this part 1. So we'll see how we get on in part 2. Let's see if we win any more. Let's see if we do better. You can check that out, guys, when it lands next week. So make sure you check that video out. For this part, thank you for watching. Let me hear your comments and thoughts of what you've seen so far. And I'll catch you all, guys, in the next video.